Hi, my name is Kristina Eiting. I work for Owens Corning. I currently hold a position of General Manager Asphalt, supporting our roofing business. I have been in oil and gas for more than 15 years, but actually only in asphalt for about 3.5 years. That's a great question. If I reflect on my entire career in the oil and gas industry over the years, I would have to say yes. In the beginning, I absolutely did feel like an outsider. There were many times I felt underappreciated, undervalued. I'll never forget what a former leader said to me years ago. This is probably 14 years ago when I asked to be on a Six Sigma team. And this is one of the first stories that came to mind. I can still quote what this gentleman said to me. He said, "You will never be a shining star in the corporate office, and I can't give you a Six Sigma project because there are young men here who support their families, and they are the ones who need the exposure." I was devastated. I can tell you I was mad, I was angry, I was crushed. All I was asking for was a challenge. I was working in accounting at the time, and I wanted something more, something different, something diverse, right? And this leader didn't see what more I had to offer. So initially, yes, I was crushed, I was mad, but this wasn't the first time that I had dealt with this type of adversity in my life. And most of us, I think, have dealt with all sorts of things in our lives. So honestly, what I did was I refused to believe his words, and I wrote down what he said, and I carried it on a little card in my wallet for years. I'll bet I had it in my wallet for 10 years as a reminder of who I didn't want to be, a reminder of the fact that I knew I was more than what he was willing to see, and a reminder of the kind of leader I didn't want to be. I knew I wanted to get into leadership, and I knew that I was learning something here about the kind of leader I did not want to be, and that was really critical. We learn from great leaders. That's a given, and that's easy. We also learn from the less than great leaders, and sometimes we learn from those awful leaders, right? As simple as it sounds, and as often as we've heard this, it's true, and it's critical that we never stop learning in all of our experiences, never stop raising the bar, never stop challenging ourselves, and absolutely don't settle. It is so important that we focus our energy and time on what's real and what's true about ourselves, about our situation. That leader didn't take the time to find out about what was real and true about me, and that was his loss, ultimately. If I fast forward to today, working for Owens Corning, I will say the environment's very different from that experience, and it might be partially because I didn't succumb to someone else's vision. I didn't succumb to what he felt I was about, or his idea of who I was. So I now work for a company whose values reflect mine, and there's nothing better than that. There's still a great deal of work to do to expand our experiences and expand the diversity within asphalt. And I can tell you that if I think back to when I was even a teenager, I really would have thought we would have been further along by the time we got to my age today. But we're not, and we can't change the past. All we can do is continue to work toward changing the future. And it's women like you, it's these organizations like Women of Asphalt that help to change the future of asphalt, of all sorts of industries for women. So I commend you, and I commend all of the work that you're doing with this organization, because it's making a difference. I would say you definitely want to put yourself out there. You want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who are smarter than you, who know the industry well, even if you don't know it well. Don't be afraid to ask lots of questions. Don't be afraid to jump into a space and be the different one, the odd man out, if you will. Be open. Don't make assumptions. Ask questions. Be curious. Be genuine. Be transparent. First and foremost, be courageous. Boy, it takes guts to walk into a room and you are the only female. Walk into a conference room and you're the only female, and you know you have to have a voice, otherwise you're not going to have an impact. You have to lean into that, and you have to be part of those conversations. So don't be afraid. Jump in with both feet, and even if you're wrong, it's okay. Be wrong with confidence. Step outside of your comfort zone and be willing to make mistakes. If you're not uncomfortable, if you're not making mistakes, then you're probably not learning, you're not growing, and you're not expanding your own capabilities. And you're not making paving a path for your children, for your cohorts, for other women in this space, in this industry, that we're working so hard to move forward. Oh, there's a lot that excites me, actually. I would say if I could pin it down to one word, it would be innovation. And not just innovation of the products, but innovation of the people. So if we look at the asphalt industry in of itself, it's complex, right? There's nothing fungible about the materials that we work with. There's nothing fungible about the people that are engaged in it. Our teams, our organizations, and our companies are evolving just like the landscape that we work in is evolving. We're seeing new faces in our labs and our sales teams and various other functions that are all coming together to make things happen. So that's what's exciting. It's the evolution and innovation that's amazing to me. There are no 2 days that are alike, no two challenges that are the same. There's no cookie cutter solution to any challenge that we are faced with. And that's what makes it fun and exciting and makes you want to get up and go to work every day, right? You don't want to go in and punch numbers. I got out of accounting because I was bored, to be honest with you. At the level of accounting I was in, it just didn't have the variety that I wanted. But this does. So when I moved into the oil and gas sales space and gas, diesel, jet, and various other products, and then moving eventually into asphalt, it's just far more challenging and creative space that you can be in. You can be creative with the products, with the customers, with our internal and external customers, and then also creative in terms of your leadership and what types of teams you build and what focus areas you want to focus on. Oh, that's an easy one. It really is about diverse talent. It's attracting, but it's also retaining diverse talent in the industry. We all see it, and I think you said it earlier. 96% of the asphalt industry is male, right? It's very male dominated, and even in that space, it's very characteristically, a certain type of male that's in that space. So there's not a lot of diversity. When you walk into a conference and you see it, you absolutely see it. So I would love to see the industry attract women, attract people with diverse backgrounds, diverse races and experiences, and from varying countries and varying ages. We've all heard the great reasons for embracing diversity, and they've been proven, right? There are many benefits, and businesses actually reap the results of those benefits. We're complex individuals. When you embrace diversity, you embrace the fact that none of us are defined by one simple thing. We're all defined by thousands of things, literally thousands of things that make us who we are. It's our experiences, it's the way we're raised, it's our friends, it's the way we respond and react to the world around us, right? And so that means that our look into the world and how we maneuver through it has every color in the rainbow. And why not bring every color in the rainbow into our thinking, into our creative spaces, and just think of what we could do if we allow for that to happen, if we open ourselves up to the diverse thinking and ideas and innovation, where the opportunities would be exponential. The first word that comes to mind would be fulfilling. I love the challenge. I love diverse days, if you will. I'm a curious person, always searching for ways to improve myself and my teams, and I'm looking at something and wondering how it can be better. So this industry allows the opportunity to do that and actually act on that curiosity and act on that desire to improve and advance and be innovative and creative. So it fulfills that creative aspect that I possess. So fulfilling is probably the first word that comes to mind. And then if I think in terms of the teams that I lead and the people that entrust their careers and their jobs to me, is rewarding. But there's nothing better than leading others and connecting with team members. Boy, when you see them grow, and when you see the bells and whistles go off in their heads and their eyes light up as they learn something new or they figure something out or gain a new talent or skill set, that's rewarding. And I suppose you find that in any industry, but I think you find that in the asphalt space more so, because we're inviting people into a space that's so unique and boy, we call it the dark side because people are afraid of it, right? It's just different, and it's not something that most people think of. But when you invite these people in and you see their passion start to surface, that's exciting. The rewarding aspect of that is, boy, it just can't be measured, and I love that probably more than anything. And then I would say energizing, it would be another word that comes to mind. There's never a shortage of challenge. We talked about that. And I love the variety. I love the fact that when I come into work every day, I maybe we describe it as a puzzle. We put together a puzzle one day and we come in and the puzzle is still there, but now the picture's different. So we have to rearrange the puzzle pieces. And that to me is kind of fun and exciting. And some people get frustrated with that. And there's some days where, yeah, I'd rather not put the puzzle together again because it took all day yesterday to get it put together, but that's okay. Maybe it's just a few tweaks and we've got the picture back in place, but that's energizing to me when you have a new, unique challenge each and every day, and we really do each and every day. We have new, unique challenges that energize and excite us. So those are probably my 3 words I would think of. Legacy. Well, I'm not ready to die yet, so I would say when I am gone, I would hope that people would remember me for being that person who was all about other people and not about herself. I would say that what I probably lived by the most would be just the basic golden rule of do unto others as you would have do unto you. I hope that others remember me as a person of high integrity, that I care about others, that I put people first. I believe in servant leadership, and I incorporate that into my daily life, and I put other people's needs first. If they don't have the tools, they don't have the skill sets to be successful, then it's my job to make sure that I create an environment in which they can develop those skill sets and we get the tools for them. So hopefully I'm remembered for that. It's simple, certainly not looking to be remembered for anything massive, or it's not about money. It's not about building a massive company. It's about building confidence in the people around me and watching them grow and develop and become the best that they can be. And that's what I love the most, and that's what I hope that people remember.